Hey y'all, Ramdino here, coming at you again for another Appalachian Trail community news, Thru Hiker update, and trail information. So, raining outside here at North Kakalaki, so I thought I'd bring it inside today just to keep from getting everything sopping wet. But let's talk about what's going on the trails out there. Folks up north, a little bit of rain, they're getting a little bit of wet too. So we got Boston T, Chatterbox, and Straps. They have passed the 1,900-mile mark, and they are in their last state of Maine. Papa Bear, he's finishing New York. He had to get off to get checked out for exhaustion. So I guess he was just totally beat up and just whooped. Went to the ER, got himself checked out. They did some blood work. He's good to go. They said he was low on electrolytes. So, of course, y'all know if you've been out there on the trail, it has been hot up north, been hot everywhere. Down here in North Carolina, I looked at my car the other day, and it was 102 degrees on the thermometer. That don't include the heat index. So I know it's been hot up north as well, where most of folks are, where most of the bubble is right now. So just plain water is not good enough. You've got to have something that's got some electrolytes in it. Tennessee, he is in New York, and he made it into New York City and saw the whole thing, he says, in one day. Groceries, Cheese Ball, Roadrunner, and Fox, they, on the other hand, they did a 2-day zero in New York City. Dandelion's crossing into Connecticut. She says the heat and humidity is brutal up there. Gypsy and Fern, they have made it to Harpers Ferry on their no-bow hike. Matt Johnson, he has also made it to Harpers Ferry. Rock and Roll is through the shanties, and he should be in Harpers Ferry any day now. Forerunner just crossed into New York and plans to be in Connecticut any day. And then we got a report from our new northern correspondent, who is a tent site caretaker up at the Nauman tent site in the Whites, and he indicates that Digit, Honey Bag, Poncho, Pep, Ash, Boston, and Goldilocks, Noah, Stomp, Spider, Bulldog, and Mufasa and Trouble, all Nobos, have been through his tent site up there. And he also had some Sobos up there. Savi and Lucky have come through there. And Lucky, of course, y'all might know that name. Lucky is the hostel proprietor down at the Above the Clouds hostel down there in Georgia. Al from the Adventure Together channel, he has made it to New Jersey. Amethyst and Mishap, they have made it out of Maine and into New Hampshire on their Sobo hike, and they are in the Wildcats. Lazarus and Rocket Man, they have made it past Rutland, Vermont. They are seeing more and more Sobos, and they say the shelter and the tenting sites are more and more crowded because you got long trail hikers that are there that hike from just across the border into Vermont up just past Rutland until the long trail and the AT share the same treadway through that area through there. So tent sites and places, campsites are going to be at a premium. But the long trail, once it gets just a little past Killington, branches off there and is no longer on the AT treadway. Lolly and Pops, they are coming into Pearisburg, Virginia. Bricks and Gazelle, they have entered the 100-mile wilderness, and so the next time we hear from them, weather permitted, they should be summoned to Katahdin sometime in the middle of this coming week. Horseshoe and Super Sport, they are around Pearisburg. Blaze Dog, he is around the Rutland, Vermont area. Spotter is in the Whites and is going to try to do the Whites without a resupply. So that means she's got a heavy pack. Disco has made it into New York, and along with her Tramley, she took in the Top Gun movie there at the Warwick Drive-In Theater, where they allow thru hikers to come through there and tent for free and watch a movie for free. And then Come Along, my hiking partner, typically, he has passed 1,350 miles, and his Tramley, they hit the fire tower there around the 1,340-mile mark, took in a sunset there, along with Cricket and Bumblebee, and they also met some Sobo hikers coming through there, Yasmin and Crockpot. So that is all the folks that's reported in over this past week. If you're out there on the trail and you want to be part of this update, then just send me your updates. All the links are down below. You can send me an email or a DM to any of my social media accounts. Some folks that had gotten off the Trail, Professor K, he was on a no-bow flip-flop, and he got off there at Manchester Center in Vermont to take care of some family business that is going to be probably protracted and take the rest of the hiker season. So he is done for the season. He made 700 miles, started out at Luray, Virginia, and made it there to Manchester Center, Vermont. Trinket and Just John, they are off their through hike, but they're not necessarily off the trail. So they made it to 1,044 miles and got off the trail right before the Washington Monument. And they flipped up to Maine, and they found that the Hostel of Maine was hiring. So they did a week work for stay there and wound up getting full-time jobs in Maine. So they are still up there helping out hikers and just enjoying being near the trail and enjoying the hikers that are coming in the trail. And they've even had a chance to help some hikers and host some hikers that they knew from their hike down south. Georgia, she is off due. She had a tendon injury. Not sure if it was a tear or just some type of damage, but she's got a boot on, gonna have to go through PT and all that. So she is done for this year. She made it as far as Rockfist Gap. And she is going to be a grandmother for the first time. So congratulations to her. I want to tell you a little something about her in just a minute, but we'll save that to the end to finish us off with. Syrup and Airbag, they had to get off. The Airbag is dealing with some bad plantar fasciitis, and they got off in Lexington to deal with that. Not sure if they'll be getting back on or not. So only had one person report in to me. Of course, we've had more summits than that over the past week, but half mile, he was number 45 to summit. So they give you a summit pass or a trail pass to get up to Baxter Peak, and he was, they give you a number. He was number 45. And then he also had some Tramley with him, about 8 others. And that was Tapeworm, Slow Down, M&M, Cast Iron, Walkman, Early Bird, and Ski. So they all finished up there together. So congratulations to you guys that all finished up there. That is awesome. Half Mile said it was a beautiful day with 40 to 60 mile an hour winds and wind chills in the 30s. So I guess it was a bluebird day, but those are some pretty big winds and some pretty cold wind chills up there. So if you're summited, please send us your pics and your announcements. We'd love to include you here on the channel, love to celebrate with you and just let folks know what's going on there. So not a lot of trail news, not a lot of things have changed out there on the trail. It's just hot out there, not necessarily dry right now. I did get a report that Vermont has turned into Vermud from 3 days of constant rain from the past week. So hopefully I'm going up there starting this coming Friday. We'll be up there a week, and Retread's going to be up there with me and supporting me. And it was hopefully that the mud will settle down and dry out a little bit, and there'll be more of a treadway than there is a mudway up there. And then I want to drop back and just tell you a little bit about why we hike, why through hikers hike these long distances they do, and why folks get out there and hike on the trail. And Georgia kind of put it best. She says she can't tell folks how amazing it is and how she felt out there on the trail and how strong she felt out there on the trail. Being out there in nature and being with people that have such wonderful spirits was an experience of a lifetime, and she will never forget it. And that's what it's all about, folks. So I would encourage you, if you have not been out there and done some overnighters or done some long distance hikes, or just hadn't been out there and got on the trail, Appalachian Trail, or any trail at all, I encourage you to get out there, get outside, enjoy God's creation, enjoy those views, take some friends along, and just enjoy each other out there in nature. Folks, that's all I got this week. I'll be off for the next 2 weeks because I'll be up in Vermud. Appreciate you, and we'll see you out there.